Yo, the left has been screaming about needing a Joe Rogan since November 6th, and they finally have their opportunity, and it's really just cracking me up watching them get so excited about influencers since this last election, man. Yo, Kylie Kelce beats Joe Rogan. How to listen to Not Gonna Lie in New Jersey, PA, and Delaware, which is why? I don't understand why it's specific like that. Yo, Kylie Kelce didn't take long to beat her husband at his own game. With just one episode of Not Gonna Lie, the 32-year-old did what Jason and Travis Kelce couldn't: unseat Joe Rogan as the nation's top podcast. Here's what you need to know about Kylie Kelce's new podcast and how to listen to it in Delaware, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Yo, if there's ever a clear sign that someone is an industry plant, yo, how to listen. Look, we've got a brilliant new podcast. Here's how to listen everywhere you can, guys. Yo, and then what? Her husband is already a podcaster, dude. What? Kylie Kelce's been a frequent guest on the New Heights podcast. Her husband, retired Philadelphia Eagles center Jason Kelce, and his brother, Kansas City Chiefs tight end, have been creating for the last few years. So, already connected, already big famous people. She's been on there all the time. You know that she's been on there because they've been building her up to have her own podcast. I wonder how many times they brought her on and said, "Oh, you're starting a new podcast. What's the day? What's the time? Everybody go check it out." But earlier this month, Kelce recently announced she's pregnant with the couple's fourth child. Oh, man. So we know what demographic she's targeting, the family. She's talking, my lady's going to love that. With the fourth child, launched her own podcast. Not Gonna Lie features Kelce's candid conversations about topics ranging from parenting and social media trends to women in sports. Oh, man. Dude, so another opportunity to inject some leftist propaganda and make it look like it's coming from just the average home mother who's got 4 kids and she cares about her family. Aren't you just like her? Dude, the podcast produced by Wave Sports Plus Entertainment, so it's fully corporate. Debuted on December 5th, 2024, and quickly climbed the top podcasting charts, besting the Joe. Yeah, but how much of that was bought for? This is a corporate debut, so a lot of those views are partly for their advertisement, so they can put this out. If it was really getting views like that, yo, why are you telling us how to go listen? Wouldn't we be already figuring that out on our own? I'm just saying. How do I listen to Not Gonna Lie in Delaware, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania? New episodes of Kelce's Not Gonna Lie. Kyle Kelce's Not Gonna Lie to you. Podcast. Yo, man. Is that not the perfect platform for propaganda? Yo, so every state engages in propaganda, and the way they do it is to just be that normal channel. We focus on other things, but then every once in a while, we might say a sentence here or make a video there where we're clearly offering one opinion, right? I like to watch this tech stuff, you know what I mean? I'm big into tech or whatever, and I got a background in it or whatever. But I watch these tech podcasts, and when the bigger names, you can tell the corporate sponsored tech podcasts, when they get together, they like to throw in little quips, like one-liners at the ends of sentences that they quickly move on from, where they just disparage libertarians or disparage classical liberals that they're attempting to frame as fascists. You get what I'm saying? And these are the games that they play. And in my opinion, they're receiving money to put those little messages in there, right? Or they know that they're continuing to get their contracts from these large corporations is dependent on them pushing that narrative, right? Who knows if it's overt or if it's just, hey, we know we got to play ball to get that check in. But you know what I'm saying? Every Thursday, it's the second episode dropping December 12th. So they're already telling you when it's dropped, when it's releasing. There's no set time for release, but they typically are available in the early morning hours. Listeners in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware can find the podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Just search Listeners Everywhere. Does YouTube have what is this state dependent? Why would it be listeners in specific states? What the hell? And it's not even I thought maybe it'd be on radio or something. And that's the radio stations it's on. What the hell is that? What is Jason Kelce's podcast? Kylie Kelce's husband, Jason Kelce, co-hosts the super popular New Heights podcast with his brother, Kansas City Chiefs tight end, Travis Kelce. Launched in September 2022, the New Heights podcast offers a behind-the-scenes look at the NFL. Personal anecdotes, interviews with some sports and entertainment person. Oh my God. You mean I get to hear from people that run up and down a field carrying a ball while other people try to tackle and hug them and lay on the ground with them? Bro, man, how many times do I see people smacking each other's butts out there on the field, bro? Dude, that and then you combine all that weird stuff from Hollywood, dude, y'all are weird, bro. Y'all are weird, bro, okay? And on top of that, like, dude, I don't care about your entertainment personalities, man. Screw these celebrities, man. No. And when I say screw celebrities, dude, I mean screw the concept of celebrities. Be your own role model, man. Don't get your cues from these people, man. These people have no idea who they are. They've decided to pursue their career instead of pursuing self-reflection. They're being told what to think about themselves by the environment around them. Do not follow these people. That is a path to your own demise. I'm talking about emotionally, spiritually. I'm not talking about their hustle. I'm not saying you don't have nothing to learn from these people. There's something to learn from everybody around you, something constructive. But what I'm saying is, emotionally and spiritually, do not idolize these people. Do not see them as role models. Be your own role model. If you need a role model outside of yourself because you're lost and you're confused, God is a great role model. However you perceive God, I've got Mastering the Tesseract. I've got GOD, Generator of Dimensions articles, Mastering the Tesseract, The Power of Positivity, Generator of Dimensions articles on my website, guys. All this stuff to help you find guidance within yourself without looking to these people, these fake role models, these fake celebrities. They're presented to us like Greek gods to idolize. Don't buy into it. Don't fall for it, guys. It's a trap. I'm telling you right now, man. Kylie Kelce has been a frequent guest on the podcast, sometimes planned and sometimes prompted to weigh in by Jason or Travis. Planned every time, I'm telling you what. Kelce Brothers podcast has also been a massive success, becoming one of the top sports podcasts. In 2024, they signed a 3-year, $100 million deal with Amazon's Wondery. Bro, man, these corporate podcasts telling you what they're told to tell you, bro. Anyway, and this is why, and this is why they're doing all these deals, and this is why you see Kylie Kelce popping out, and this is why you see all the media hype about it, man, right here, okay? After Trump wins the influencer election, why some Democrats want to create their own. Joe Rogan, the popular podcast host to Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and JD Vance's, played a role in Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and JD Vance's final moments of the 2024 election. In the wake of Donald Trump's win. What the hell? Get this the fuck out of my face, man. What is this? In the wake of Donald Trump's 2024 win, which defied both pollsters' predictions and the greater cash reserves of the Kamala Harris campaign, many on the left are debating about podcasts of all things. Is it time for Democrats to support or perhaps create their own Joe Rogan? Well, it looks like we got Wave Plus Sports throwing around big money that they saw Spotify throw around. I wonder why. Is it any question that it's the same amount? Is it a coincidence that it's the same amount? Predictions, greater cash reserve of Kamala Harris. Many are left debating podcasts of all things. Is it time for Democrats to support or perhaps create their own Joe Rogan? People saying Harris should have done Joe Rogan are missing the point. That wouldn't have helped her. The Nation legal commentator Eli Mystical said on X, liberals need to build their own Joe Rogan. Somebody who can speak to the people he speaks to without being a guy that wants to kiss ass to billionaires like Elon Musk. You know what they are just conveniently ignoring? You know what they're conveniently ignoring? 2020. Why did Joe Rogan support Democrats in 2020? Joe Rogan was a Democrat. Let's just ignore the fact that we're pushing away classical liberals. Let's just ignore the fact that we're pushing away Democrats. Let's just ignore the fact that who we're bringing magnetically attracting to our party now is the exact neocon establishment that used to be considered to be rhinos on the right. And were the exact problem and who Democrats hated on the right. Let's ignore that. Let's ignore all of that. The problem is we don't have a Joe Rogan who we pay enough money to control what they say. That's the real issue. Ridiculous, man. The Independent has reported men voted decisively for Donald Trump in nearly every decade. Trump and his allies helped spread their message to this group by sitting down with a variety of podcasters, live streamers, and comedians with large male followings and or conservative-leaning politics, sometimes dubbed the manosphere. I got another article talking about the manosphere and just these leftists trying to claim that they're being attacked by the manosphere and now they're being targeted for online harassment, whatever. I don't buy it for a second. And no one in this media world is more influential than Joe Rogan, the comedian and UFC commentator who hosts the Joe Rogan Experience. The show, which features a variety of guests from worlds of comedy, entertainment, sports, and politics, is the top show on Spotify and has an audience of at least 14.5 million listeners. Some 80% of those are men, according to Edison Research, and 60% of them are independents or Republican aligned. Those are really good numbers. Whoa, that is a lot of women watching. Like compared to the average, like compared to the industry average, there are a lot of women watching Joe Rogan. And for 67% of them, first off, why are they lumping independents and Republicans together? Probably because it's way more independents and a small portion are Republicans. And so that's why they lump them together, to make that look like it's independent / Republican aligned. In the final stages of the campaign, Rogan interviewed Trump, J.D. Vance, Elon Musk, and the campaign's most prominent supporter. He then went on to endorse Trump directly after Kamala refused to go on. After Kamala refused to go on and to accept the same offer he gave to Donald Trump. Kamala Harris's campaign wanted to defraud donors by spending exorbitant amounts of money on building these temporary sets. Okay, that's my opinion. My opinion, the Kamala Harris campaign in part wanted all these podcasts to come out to her in an effort to defraud donors. Okay, that's how I feel about it. Rogan and his guests frequently chat about things entirely unrelated to politics, ranging from drugs, history, martial arts, and his show remains a sort of platform any campaign would dream about, except for Kamala Harris. Apparently. Still, some are skeptical that the Democrats should try or even could recreate the Joe Rogan experience, but for the left. As social media journalist Taylor Lorenz recently argued, the right-wing media ecosystem, which includes outlets like the Daily YN platform, like video sharing service Rumble, has received considerable funding in years from conservative megadonors, investors, a trend without a parallel on the left. That's because the left already has massive amounts of mega funding from their own corporate backers, their own international corporate sponsors, okay? Even now, with the funding the right is getting for its media space, it is still vastly outfunded by the left and by corporate media. So these games that they're playing with you, it's a lie. It's a framing device. Don't believe it for a second, guys. Seriously. Leftist channels do not receive widespread financial backing from billionaires or large institutional donors. That's an absolute lie. That is an absolute lie. And what they're doing for that framing device is they're probably talking specifically about the David Pakmans and the other like people who are specifically in the political niche, right? Because what the left does is they fund the culture everywhere, bro. We were just talking about those sports podcasts, right? What do you think they're being pushed? What do you think they can't say? Because then their sponsors will come to them and be like, yo, what are you doing? Come on, man. Primarily because left content creators support policies that are completely at odds with what billionaires want. That's absolutely not true. The left is infamous for their neoliberal manipulation of the rhetoric of empathy in order to excuse government engaging and influencing our lives and allowing corporate support. And the revolving door between lobbies and government, the left is absolutely famous for that and for manipulating the language of empathy in order to further that goal. The left-leaning influencers argue for things like higher taxes on the rich, regulations on corporations. Higher taxes on the rich actually end up going back to more taxes on the poor. It also decreases people's ability for class mobility. Regulations on corporations end up getting waivers where large corporations aren't subject to them and smaller businesses and medium-sized corporations are. Policies that curb the power of elites. Yeah, really, I don't believe that what you're describing right here are policies that take advantage of the language of empathy, while when you take into account the revolving door between the lobby system, the legislators, and executive positions in corporations, these are turned on their head and instead act as a neoliberal corporatist device preventing class mobility, in my opinion, when you actually factor in the relationship between government and corporations. And so, in my opinion, those do not end up curbing the power of elites at all, which is why you're losing support in the cultural zeitgeist. Wealthy mega donors aren't going to start pouring money into a media ecosystem that directly contradicts their own financial interests. Others suggest that it's not the Democrats that need to create a new Joe Rogan to win. It's that they need to create policies that appeal to more independent-minded men who make up the audience in the first place. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely right, man. Like, dude, guys, they're trying to build a new Joe Rogan. If they really do that, and they really pay somebody enough, this person that they pay is either going to be a strong enough personality because they're going to have that character that's going to draw people in. They're either going to be a strong enough personality where they're going to decide they can't take it anymore, or they're going to be a weak enough personality where they'll say whatever they're told to say but they're not going to be the type of personality that's going to draw people in to have a large audience, right? And so that, I think, is a dichotomy that they're sitting between, and why they're fighting a losing game in terms of the cultural zeitgeist on the left, right? So anyway, that's the segment. They're trying to create their own Joe Rogan, and I guess they're excited about Kylie Kelce because what that represents for that. But yo, man, it's just because it's her debut podcast. And anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys joining me, and I will see you guys on the next one.